Good evening, good evening. Can everyone hear me? Good evening. How y'all doing? This your boy, Big. Welcome back to another episode of Cloud Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. How you doing, Instagram? How you doing, YouTube? See if we can get that a little bit better. I got this all in my eye. Let's move that. Y'all see the stars in the roof? Got the stars in the roof on them. You feel me? All right. Tonight's show, it's gonna be a little bit different. Gonna be quick. Try to get this in and out. Y'all know in and out real quick. Like, you feel me? Can y'all hear me? I was having troubles when I was doing my other channel, Cloud Chasing Sports. But I think I know why it was giving me issues with the microphone and the sound quality was not the best. All right. Tonight's show, we are definitely talking about aid for this for these renters, right? For people like me, you, everyone's out here trying to, make sure that we have a place to live for our family, right? A roof over our heads, right? And so, like we've been talking about this past few weeks, rent, it's been a crisis. The evictions have been a crisis, right? Been a crisis on these evictions, eviction crisis across America. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear the Stone Cold Steve Austin? Can y'all hear the rattlesnake? Let's see this. Something keep going in and out. I'm not sure what it is, but we're gonna rock. All right, we're gonna get into this article, and the link the link for this article is in the description below. Also, just like always, with all the videos that I do for this channel, we just don't talk about the problem, but we give solutions. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all the solution right now. For anyone who's having trouble making a rent payment, for anyone's having trouble who need assistance, we're gonna talk about that in the article. But I'm of the mindset, and please put in the comments if you think that there's other avenues, which there are, but I believe the best and the most optimal avenue to beat this rental crisis is to get training and new skills for higher paying jobs, and or don't just clip what I just said and run with it, and or learn new skills about business and create business. Most preferably, I can't even talk right now. E-commerce, right? Something that you can do from home, drop shipping, selling stuff on Amazon, all that kind of jazz right there, right? But make sure that you're not doing no pyramid scheme, no Primerica type stuff, anything like that. Make sure that you are doing something legit where you're actually selling product or you're doing some kind of service, and it's 100% legit and it's very profitable for you, right? I in the link in the description below went to a tech boot camp class called Careers. What's going on, little ball chick? I see you out there in the Vegas area. We talked about Vegas a couple of weeks ago and all the evictions that's happening out there in Vegas. I hope you are not affected by those evictions that's happening in Vegas. So salute to you and your beautiful young one. And so one of the solutions that I talk about is going to a tech boot camp. It's called Careerist. It's in the link in the description below. Starting salary is between 70,000 and 100,000 starting out, right? You don't have to be a tech nerd. You don't have to have a degree in tech or anything like that. The boot camp teaches you. They help you with your LinkedIn page. They give you a mentor, and they also provide you with an internship. And I said they give you an intern. They give you an internship. All right, so we got a little ball chick in the building on IG. Everybody show some love to little ball chick. She out there in the Vegas area. Salute to my people down in Las Vegas in that area. She said, "Hey, no, my rent just went up $600. Hold on, ooh, the rent just went up $600. So if I'm hearing you right, you're not affected by the increase in rent, but it did go up $600. That's a lot of money. See, what I do know is that some places, some states, some areas, some counties, they do not have a cap on the rent, right? So people can charge, our landlords, our property managers can charge however much they want to charge for rent, right? In other places, it's a cap. So you can only go up to a certain amount per year, right? Only like 2% increase. How everything's going? Everything's going okay. I'm just been digging into the world that we live in, and checking out this eviction crisis in America, just trying to spread the word that they're up, that is hope out there for people, right? Um, just talking about Vegas, like I don't know if you've seen the live stream I did about Vegas, but in the courtrooms out there in Vegas, there was a bunch of people who were facing evictions, and there was an article that came out that there was actually um, legal service aid for those people who may be facing evictions, so they could get free counsel to help, not to necessarily prevent the eviction, but to either find some kind of rental assistance, or to help them get the eviction move out date pushed back, right? So that gives the renter more time to be able to go ahead and do things like find a better job or find a different housing situation. And so there's help out there for our people, but we just have to find it, right? And unfortunately, a majority of the evictions are African American women. And the article states, in many articles, if you read and research, that African American women are being evicted at double the rate of every other group of people. And so that's what I've been up to lately, just doing a lot of research and reading, and trying to, put a little light on the situation, that it is a problem, but there is hope out there, right? And so a lot of people are waiting for the government to step in and do things, or they're just trying to um, wait for, maybe their landlord to help out. It's not the case, right? What we need to do as people, no matter if you man or woman, whatever, we need to get better skills with higher paying jobs. Because my point's always going to go back to this mainly, right? Your rent right now might only be $1,000, right? Where's rent $1,000? I don't know, but somewhere, let's just say, right? Your rent might only be $1,000 here in 2023, but in 2028, do you believe your rent's still going to be $1,000? Probably not. Your rent's probably going to be about $1,500. So the cost of living is going to constantly continue to rise for people with low income housing situations, for people on Section 8, for all of us, for people who are well off, for people who work a regular 9 to 5 like myself. Like, rent's going to continue to go up. So what we need to do in order to help ourselves and secure our living situations, you know, is to get new skills that demand higher paying jobs, right? That's the most quickest thing that I know that we could do, right? If you have a better idea, please share it with the people, right? I said, or we can learn some e-commerce skills, do drop shipping, learn how to sell things on Amazon. All these things are great businesses to start in order to help our people to be able to get out of the courtrooms of eviction. So thank you for joining me. I see y'all on Instagram. Let me just check out YouTube real quick and see, do I have anybody chiming in? Not really, but we're going to keep rocking. And I'm just going to read this article I came across. This is from last month, actually. And this article talks about aid, right? It says these are people who are facing eviction. What's going on, Clint? My guy, my Menlo College alumni guy. What's up, man? My boy's in the grad school right now. Salute to you. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna come across. I'm gonna read this article a little bit, just hit the highlights, and I'm gonna try to get out of here as soon as possible. I do appreciate y'all for watching and rocking with your boy. The trucking business would be great. Lil Ball Chick came up with a great idea. Those people who are looking to, well, you know what, the trucking business, I don't know. I don't know if you heard Lil Ball Chick, but the company, the trucking company Yellow, that's been around for 100 years, just went out of business. And I got a guy I was in the Navy with. He's a truck driver. I haven't spoken with him about what's going on, what he's seeing, but a lot of indications are showing that, hey, because people are not buying products, especially in brick and mortar stores. Like the traffic, the foot traffic is slowed down. So people are still buying online, but even not that much online, right? Because everything's so expensive now, right? And so we're getting the product shipped over from China on the boats, right? But then the boats drop off the containers to the trucks, and the trucks drop off the product to the stores. Well, if there's less product being brought in because there's less demand from the people, the trucking companies are kind of going down right now. Not to say that they won't come back later, but right now might not be the best time to try to get into trucking, in my opinion. Um, did drop shipping. Uh, she said she did stop driving for Amazon though. I was over it, but dispatching is good. Yeah, dispatching. What's going on about that online? I see you all the way in the UK. What's up, soldier? Yeah, drop shipping. I mean, not drop shipping. Dispatching, right, for the truck drivers. Okay, you can stay at home and do that. You feel me? Like, and you can get the calls in and everything. So that might be legit. But the point is, like, at least you have ideas and things that you could do, right, in order to help make more money if need be. And some of our people, according to these articles, and I'm gonna read the stories I'm about to read are from people who have went through and experienced these evictions, right? And so um it's good to know that. But look, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Lil Ball Chick. I'm gonna tell him this. Lil Ball Chick a little different, y'all. She from the hood for real, for real. So her hustle game is a little bit different. You feel me? Like if you was ever in Oakland, California for any period of time in the 90s, and what you witnessed and what you seen, even if you grew up in a nice part of Oakland, you still got an advantage, right? And so shout out to Lil Ball Chick. I just had to let them know you from the town. You feel me? Even though you spend a lot of majority, I mean, a little bit of that time in the Vegas area, but your roots is still in the Bay Area. Give it up, give it up. All right, so Lil Barchick also says a friend worked in Alaska for 3 weeks doing the fish run. Woo! Probably made some good money. I don't know about going to Alaska though. I'd be afraid, like for real, for real. I'm gonna be honest. I'd be scared. Like y'all got me out here fishing in this ultra cold water, in this ultra cold weather. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would survive. I don't know if I would survive. All right, so we're gonna get to this article as promised. Title of it is, in their own words, how tenants experience eviction moratoria. All right, this is just from last month of this year. Yes, last month of this year. So we're gonna hit the highlights and then we're gonna get up out of here. So probably give me like 30 minutes, right? Early in the COVID-19 pandemic, a single, it says a black single mother living in Connecticut. I didn't know black people lived in Connecticut. And this is a single mother that lived in Connecticut, right? A single black mother that lived in Connecticut was struggling to keep up with her rent. Polo from out the chamber, I see you. What's up? North Richmond is in the building. North Richmond, North of the rich. You feel me? In Sacramento, I see you. All right. So a single black mother was struggling to pay her rent who was living in Connecticut. She was only working 1 day a week after her employer cut her hours and her rental debt was growing. So just imagine if you had your regular job, you're working 40 hours a week, polo from out the chamber, you're working, making that good money, and then your boss just said, "Yo, I need you to only come in once a week, but you still got to pay your rent." How can someone survive, right? As far as making a rent payments, if I go from making $5,000 a month, making good money, to now I'm only making $700 a month, my rent $2,000. It's just not, the math don't math. You feel me? So things gonna have to, something gonna have to change. Something gotta give. Something gotta give. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Uh, she was only working 1 day a week from her employer cut her hours. Okay, we got it. Every month she was like, she seen the increase in number get bigger and bigger, and she got scared. This woman lives in a state that has a strong eviction moratorium. The protections brought her enough time to apply for rental assistance, which she got just before her landlord intended to kick her out. Woo! She was about to get the boot. But then she got that protection money because in Connecticut, they have strong protections, right? And so if you know someone having problems, maybe about to get evicted and whatnot, have them look up what protections they have for renters, right? Because there may be situations where they may be able to get some assistance, and they don't have to be on the street. They don't gotta go to the street. You feel me? The woman goes on to say it never actually made it to court because, hold on, sorry about that. Because that is when the program came through. Okay, so we already read that part. All right, let's go down. Lizzie was one of millions of tenants who risked losing her home due to the evictions during the pandemic. A lot of people was about to lose their home because of the pandemic, because of the situation like this. You working, pandemic hits, no one's coming into work. Your hours go from 40 hours to 8 hours. All right, it's a bunch of state laws and local leaders attempted to prevent widespread evictions and its negative health effects during the pandemic through moratoriums and other protections. Previous research showed that how this affects these policies were in the reducing forms case filings. So they're trying to reduce the filings of evictions through these protections. But how did renters understand? Did they interpret it? Did they understand the rights, right? A lot of renters, even to this day, they still don't understand the rights that they have when it comes to the rent moratoriums and the protections that are in place, right? And so it's very crucial to Google, find, talk, and network with people in your local area if you know someone facing an eviction or you personally are facing an eviction. There's all different kind of programs out here to help people to extend that time. It says, so this article, these people asked 60 different tenants in Connecticut, Ohio, Florida, right? These are all people who experienced evictions between March and September of 2021. Their stories are illustrated below. We're going to go down. We're going to skip around. Just trying to hit the highlights of this, y'all, and get up out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I hope no one's facing an eviction, but if you are, just remember that there is help out there. Okay, here we go. Although millions of Americans benefited from these policies, many of the renters we interviewed were still skeptical of the moratoriums that would protect them, right? A few noted correctly that the CDC moratorium only prevented evictions for non-payments of rent, opening a possible loophole for landlords to file for other payments of eviction. Wow. Let me see my place. Others described how eligible rules left them unprotected. For example, Florida state's moratorium restricted protections to those who jobs was lost, considering COVID-19 related, leaving the tenants vulnerable when they could not prove that it was the case. So basically, let me break that down real quick. In Florida, you could not get protected if if you said, "Hey, I lost my job because of COVID." Oh, I done said the word. Dang, I wasn't supposed to say it. I done lost my job because of the right? The COVID-19. If you cannot prove that that's why you lost your job, they wouldn't help you with any kind of rental assistance in Florida. You had to prove that it was because of COVID-19 is the reason why you lost your job. If not, if you just said it just to try to, you know how we do, we just be like, yo, I really lost my job because I was smoking them tweeds. But I'm gonna tell them it's because of the COVID-19. Ooh, I should be a rapper. That rhymed. Know what's going on with my glass. But anyway, let's keep going. All right. Dang. Give me a second. All right, here we go. Let me scroll down, scroll down. All right. Here we go. All right. Based on these interviews, we made these 3 recommendations for the designs of the future housing stability policies. First, additional time is critical for renters. Delaying the eviction process, buying tenants time, help to prevent immediate displacement that could have long-term negative consequences for well-being and housing securities. Exactly. So the one thing that they want to change is they want to give renters or people who are facing eviction more time to be able to get their situations together before they actually get evicted. The second thing that they did, know what's going on with that. All right. The second policy that they want to put in place, policy success requires direct outreach. Many of the renters that we spoke to did not know or were fully understood the eviction moratoriums. Community outreach and trust messengers are critical in implementing successful policies, especially when they are targeted to historical marginalized populations. Yes, I totally agree with you, Clint. F code F that. You feel me? It has taken out quite a few of our people, and it kind of it changed the world. You feel, for real, it changed the world. But so the second thing that they want to do is really do an outreach so that people can really understand um, the benefits that protections can actually have for them, right? Especially for, let's just say, Black communities, because we don't trust people. But we have a historical right here in America not to trust people. And when I say people, I mean the government. Salute to the government. All right, let's keep going. The third thing, they want to work to minimize barriers and burdens. When moratoriums included more procedural hassles, they did not work as well, right? That in turn breeded mistrust, suspicion, making future programs that much more difficult. And so it was hard for some people who needed assistance to actually get the assistance because of maybe paperwork or just maybe their situation as far as location, and they really couldn't get to someone who was actually involved in helping them with assistance. So these are all things that the policies makers are trying to make better for renters. All right. Dang, that's it. Let me see. I done skipped all the way down to the end. That was quick. Let me see if I can go back up and hit some other points. All right, here we go. All right. It says a few of the renters we spoke with had previous experiences trying to prove their eligibility for other programs like food stamps, housing vouchers, and welfare. knowing how hard the time was for consuming these processes could be undermined. Their belief is eviction protections are willingness to engage. I thought it was just, this is a quote from one of the renters. I thought it just seemed too good to be true. A white renter in Ohio said, I felt like it would probably be like flaming hoops to jump through. Wasn't that bad. My man Clint over here on IG says, I don't trust the government either, except for except the IRS. I love the IRS. Hey man, the IRS give you them checks. That's why. See? All right, here's another story. Let me see. Here we go. Um, Here we go. As Peter, a black renter in Connecticut. Man, I didn't know they had black people in Connecticut, cuz. A black renter in Connecticut noted, now you've gotten to go through hoops, circles, and all kind of stuff just to get this money. Then they make you wait. And then the rent is still building up while you're waiting. So my man Pete out there in Connecticut saying, look, I try to sign up for the program, but I got to do this. I got to sign this. I got to find this paperwork. I got to go to this building. I got to do this. I got to do all this kind of stuff. And it's taking all this time. It's taking months to get through all this paperwork. And you know what's happening while I'm trying to get my stuff together to find some assistance to help me pay this back rent that I owe because I lost my job and COVID and all this, and COVID-19 and all this type of stuff. The rent. I keep getting the bill. At first I only owe 5,000. Now I owe 6,000. Next month passed, I owe 7,000. Right? And he's like, I'm trying to get my paperwork in, but the rent is due every month. Every 30 days, the rent is gonna be due, player. And you gotta come up with that bread. All right. Finally, racism also shapes participants' trust in the moratorium. Several of the black renters we spoke with raised concerns about discrimination and mistrust. Mark, a black Florida renter, Florida, FLA, Florida. I'm not a, I don't, I'm Florida. Anyway, Florida, a black renter described experiencing racism and disrespect when he was seeking rental assistance. Now, how messed up is that? My man was trying to do the right thing by seeking rental assistance. He was met with disrespect and racism. He experienced this. This is what he says. I just gave up trying to at least get these things done, to get these things, and decided that enough was enough. And I let it, and let me move on and just forget that this thing almost existed. So my man was like, he was so frustrated with trying to get stuff done, and he was tired of dealing with racism and all this type of stuff. And he was like, forget it. I'm just gonna take the L. Right? He just took the L. Right? So what happens is what? My black man in Florida, was trying to do the rental program. He was being mistreated. He felt like he was being disrespected. He faced racial, disparities. And so he said, I'm just gonna get the eviction. I'm gonna take the eviction. Why? Because he didn't have no money to make the back payments after he most likely lost his job because of the pandemic. Right? He didn't have no money saved up to be able to make, a lump sum payment. So he's seeking assistance from the local government down there in Florida. But they was being racist to him. Now, might be an anecdotal experience, I believe there's other black people in Florida who may have got the assistance and they probably did not face racial discrimination. But maybe his experience, maybe he wasn't the only one, probably. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't mess with Florida. I'll tell. What's his name? What's his name? His name Martin. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out of Florida. Get out of Florida, Martin. All right. Here we go. Here go one more story. Some renters said they were convinced that landlords' access to money and legal representation would allow them to get around eviction protections. Quote, don't understand the mind of a landlord. If they got money, Misha, a renter in Connecticut, warned. This is a big misconception. And I talked about this on one of my other shows. Renters, especially for mom and pop landlords, renters just assume that the landlords are filthy rich. I know this to be a fact because when I had my first house, we had a guy that was working on the house for us. He was doing some remodeling work. And I was also in the process of, we were trying to rent rooms out as well. And so, long story short, the guy was like, man, you rich. I'm like, bro, I'm not rich. Like, I'm barely making these payments to you, right? And not only that, the renter that we had moved into the house later, I discovered that, well, she's told me that her mom owned 2 or 3 other houses. And I was thinking, like, if your mom owned 2 or 3 other houses, why are you trying to rent my home here? Why don't you go live in one of your mom's houses? Right? But how she was speaking about her mom was like, my mom's rich. Da 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 da. I don't think her mom was rich by any means. I think she was smart, made good financial decisions, but I don't think her mom was rich. Right? Just because someone owns 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 properties doesn't mean that they are rich or that they have the money to do whatever for the renter. There's been multiple instances where my home that I was renting out, my second house, the one I'm in now, before we moved back into it, where the renters called and said, hey, this is messed up. This is not working. This is going to hell. And I was like, yo, right now, I can't really send nobody over there to fix or look at it. Excuse me. But there was like, or I can get someone to do it, but can you help me out? No problem. How much is it gonna cost? $200. Okay. Let me go ahead and take that off the rent. As a mom and pop landlord owner, I much rather take the money. I mean, if I have to, I much rather take the money off the rent than and get the stuff fixed by your network. Then you have to wait for me, who don't have the extra funds to help pay to get it done as soon as possible. You see what I'm saying? Right? Now, if I got the money to do it, go ahead. We're going to get it done. But if I don't have the money and you got the means to do it, we can work something out all day long. Right? That's no problem. But like this renter right here, she's just like, she doesn't understand. She's like, I don't understand the mindset of the landlord. If they got money, right? Why are they trying to charge me for back pay of rent? And the answer is because they still got to make the mortgage payment to their lender or to their bank. Maybe their home's paid off though, right? Even if the home's paid off, you still need to honor your rental lease agreement. And even if the home is paid off, the owner still has to pay the property tax. The property tax still have to be paid. So I need money for the property tax. But a renter, a regular old, brand new, fresh out of high school, just trying to, make it through community college, who not really worried about real estate or anything like that, don't understand that ROI, return on investment, for us over here in clout chasing means rent, owners, investors. I'm big clout. Y'all the clout chasers. Y'all are renters, owners, and investors. Only a few will catch it. Only a few. Man. Although millions of Americans benefited from the policies, many renters, oh yeah, I read that already, right? Interview or suspect or skeptical, I mean. All right. Here go the last one, and we're going to get up out of here. Many of the renters we interviewed described how moratorium created space to strategize. Y'all know I can't talk, right? Strategize. Y'all know I'm ghetto, so to make a strategy, right? Strategize. Um, secure resources and address rental debt. When Oliver, a renter in Connecticut, lost his job and fell behind on rent, the state moratorium gave him time to find a new job. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's about, right? Give him time to find a new job, comma, catch up, and avoid eviction, right? But my man's Oliver, he had a little hustle to him. He went to try to find a job. He got a job. He was able to catch up on his bills, paid the people off, and did not get evicted. We need anyone who's facing an eviction to have Oliver's kind of hustle, right? And I believe people do, but sometimes you just get the short end of the stick. Trust me, I know, right? But the point is that when you apply yourself to look out for these programs and these aids for rental assistance, and when it actually comes through and it doesn't take months and months and months to happen, you get situations and stories like my man Oliver, where the moratoriums gave him enough time to be able to get a new job, catch up on his bills, and avoid the eviction, right? Others share that, as in Lizzie's case, moratoriums provided them time to access emergency rental assistance. For example, Jane was able to pay down 3 months of back rent and avoid evictions after receiving a grant from the Salvation Army. Salvation. Y'all remember the No Limit Soldiers? I mean, not that's my group right there. But I'm talking about was it Juvenile? Cash Money is an army, you're the Navy. If you ever play Hammond for you, ain't gravy. Y'all remember that, Juvenile? The Salvation Army. And you don't want to talk about them No Limit Soldiers. That's the real army right there. We No Limit Soldiers. I told you. You feel me? But the Salvation Army gave a grant. Now, if y'all facing eviction, or y'all know somebody facing an eviction, y'all might want to look up the Salvation Army. They might be able to help. They done help Jane out. Got a grant to catch up on 3 months of back pay. Imagine that. Imagine like you back pay like, I don't know, $7,500, and you ain't got the $7,500. And the rent moratorium program that you signed up for, like, yo, talk to the Salvation Army in your local area. Fill out the paperwork. They might be able to help you catch up on something. You're like, okay, you go down to the Salvation Army, you fill out the paperwork. They're like, yo, we can help you with $7,500. That'll be like 3 months of your back pay for rent. You winning, right? That'll give you time to do what? The stress. Imagine the stress. No more stress. right? You're like, whoo, I can relax a little bit as far as stressing about it. Now you still gonna have to find a job, right? You still gonna have to get some new skills. You still gonna have to get a business or something to whereas you're able to make more money than you were before, right? You're still gonna have to try to sign up for a community college, to become a plumber, electrician, construction worker, all right? Get into one of these tech boot camps like I got in the description below. That's on my YouTube page, right? You still got to do that, but the stress of that initial, you know, 3 months, I'm good. Like, okay, let's move forward, right? It says she recalled hearing about the moratoriums and thinking that's all I needed to hear at that time to give myself a little bit of a security blanket. I would say that it gave me some breathing room. How many of us really need some breathing room right now? Or we know somebody that could use some breathing room. Hell, I could use some breathing room right now, and I'm a homeowner. Like, let me just be honest. You feel me? Like, man, if I came up with some bread, like, I don't know, $4,500, and I didn't have to use it for nothing but to pay my mortgage, take it. Like, knock those 3 months out for me. You feel me? Like, all day, every day. And so I can imagine for someone who's facing an eviction, who's like, yo, this could get, because eviction can go real bad as far as like your record. Because what we talked about before, a lot of landlords have policies now where it's no evictions on your record. If they see an eviction on your record, they take your application, crumble it up, throw it in the trash. Right. So if you can prevent that, you're definitely in a good place. Right. There are programs out there. We just have to find them and look for them. The Salvation Army. There y'all go. I gave y'all one. The Salvation Army. That's one. Boom. All right. I think that's going to be it for tonight. We're going to get up out of here. I just want to make a quick live stream for y'all. I see somebody over there on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, share this with 25 people that you don't know. I pretty much, I sincerely appreciate you for checking this out. Please, if you know someone facing an eviction, or if you're facing an eviction, please look up your local, look in your local areas for assistance through nonprofit organizations like Salvation Army. Also, legal services to help people get representation in court, because like I think it was 98% of the time when the resident is in court versus the landlord or the property manager, the resident is going to get served the eviction. And so it's very important to have legal representation to help mediate the stress. Clint, what's going on? What you got for me, big dog? Hey, you the man, man. You the man. Thank you. Do you want to come on live for a minute and just say what's up or whatever real fast before I get up out of here? And before you do that, before you come on here, if you do, let me just do this real quick. I forgot to do this and I'm 45 minutes in. Those of you who may not know who I am, let me introduce myself. Right. My name is Savalas Williams. This is this is Cloud Chasing, where we mix the culture with the real estate. Right. For the past several years, I've dedicated myself academically to learning about the real estate industry. Right, I have an associate's degree in real estate. I have a certificate of completion in real estate. I have a certificate for commercial real estate, property management through BOMA. I have a real estate salesperson's license. I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration in real estate. On top of all those things nobody cares about, I got it. I'm just letting y'all know I'm actually dedicating myself to learn about this stuff. I also work in property management for military housing here in Virginia Beach, right? So I'm around this stuff all the time, right? So I just want to share that with y'all. Here we go. I'm bringing in my mans. Go live with Clint. Should be working. Oh, I gotta accept it. There we go. What's going on, big dog? Clint, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm doing all right, brother. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. I hope everything going well with you and the family, man. Hey, hey, congratulations, man. Sheesh, sheesh. Hey, if you want to tell the people a little bit about your background in real estate. That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations, man. I'm proud of you, dog. Hopefully, one day I make it back to California, and then we can be able to network and buy some property or something together, man. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. You have a good night, and I'll talk with you later, brother. I love you too, bro. Peace. Hey, that was awesome. Clint came through. Thank you, Clint, for chiming in. I really appreciate that. I know you didn't have to. And thank you for sharing your story about your experience in real estate. We really do appreciate that because we need to hear other perspectives, right? So he has a whole different background when it comes to the real estate industry. And that's wonderful. So we need those different perspectives. My man over here on YouTube asked me, what about the Master P content? So he knows, those of you who may not know, and I said I'm going to get out of here. But this YouTube channel, the YouTube channel I'm on for clout chasing, it used to be No Limit album reviews. So salute to Ted for asking me about the content. Now I have another YouTube channel, Ted. It's called Clout Chasing Music. You will see a picture of a No Limit tank. That's where I'm starting to put my new No Limit content at. It's over there. Clout Chasing Music, right? If you type in Clout Chasing Music, 5 reasons why Master P is the GOAT, you will find my video. It's a live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you. And I'm gonna get up out of here. So once again, thank Clint. Thanks little ball little ball chick for chiming in out of Vegas, and Polo from out the chamber out there in Sacramento, and Clint in the Bay Area, and to my man Ted over here on YouTube, where I'm about to tell him about the No Limit content. You gotta go to. And so all right, IG, have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later. I hope everyone has a safe night. I don't want nobody to have any issues, any problems. And once again, if y'all know somebody facing an eviction, please look up different nonprofit organizations to whereas they'll be able to help them to at least get some more time to be able to fix their situation. And legal representation is very key when you're talking about the rental situation and being evicted, right? And so a lot of this stuff you can get for free, but you just have to look it up and do the research. All right, Instagram, I'm gone. I'm gonna go talk to my mans over here on YouTube. Peace. All right. Let me bring this up here. I seen that. All right. Thank you, YouTube. Y'all have a good night. This your boy, Big Clout. I want everyone to have a safe, wonderful night and stay positive. Y'all already heard what I said on IG, so I ain't got to repeat that again. Till next time, y'all stick around for the next show. If anybody have any ideas, any situations where they know someone who's facing an eviction or they themselves facing an eviction, share their story down in the comments below. You don't have to use their names. Of course, you can use aliases or just talk about, different situations like that. Be sure to like, subscribe, and also check out the description below if you do want to find a job making $70,000 or more by going to Careerist, the tech boot camp, and learning about those new skills. Peace.